the success that the world needs it to be, because that 2015 agreement in Paris was a significant moment in the fight against climate change, but it was ultimately a pledge of action still to come. And it's very frustrating to see countries that have spent 6 years conspicuously patting themselves on the back for signing that promissory note in Paris, quietly edging towards default now that vulnerable nations and future generations are demanding payment here now in Glasgow. And there's really no excuse, because we know what is at stake here. We've been hearing it all week. We heard it from the president of Palau, Siranga Whips, who told me he spent 5 days traveling 7,500 miles across 9 time zones to make sure that the voice of his people was heard. And the least we can do is pay attention when he says that if the big economies don't do more, we, and I quote, might as well bomb his islands. We heard it from Simon Coffey from the government of Tuvalu, who spoke to us not from a podium in a cozy conference room, but knee-deep in a steadily rising Pacific Ocean. And we heard it from the Prime Minister Mia Mottley of Barbados, who so moved us on the opening ceremony when she warned that we are digging our own graves, and asked, when are the leaders finally going to lead? And so I say to my fellow leaders, if you stood and applauded her then, you cannot now sit on your hands as the world asks you to act, because the world knows what a mess our planet is in. The world has heard leaders from every country, continent, stand here and acknowledge the need for action, and the world will find it absolutely incomprehensible if we fail to deliver that, and the backlash from people will be immense and it will be long-lasting. And frankly, we will deserve their criticism and their opprobrium, because we know what needs to be done, and we all agree what needs to be done. We just need the courage actually to get on and do it. So now is the time for everyone to come together and show the determination needed to power on through the blockages, to look at the science with dispassionate eyes and think about how we can compromise, how we can be flexible to meet the needs of the planet. And for world leaders who are now back in their capitals, to pick up the phone to their teams here and give them the negotiating margin, give them the space they need in which to maneuver and get this done. Here in Glasgow, the world is closer than it has ever been to signalling the beginning of the end of anthropogenic climate change. And it's the greatest gift we can possibly bestow on our children and our grandchildren and generations unborn. And it's now within reach. At COP26, in these final days, we just need to reach out together and grasp it. And so my question to my fellow world leaders this afternoon, as we enter the last hours of COP, is, will you help us do that? Will you help us grasp that opportunity, or will you stand in the way? Thank you all very much. I'm now going to go to the UK media.